Alright, I'm back, and we're going to look at the last of the individual bots for the Hercules. Or, not Hercules, Giant, I'm sorry. And that is Wheel Loader, aka Scrapper. Now, Scrapper was always my favorite of the Constructicons. He's actually one of my favorite Decepticons. So, as much as I liked this guy before, the TFC one is better because it is almost identical to G1 accuracy. So if that's what you're looking for, this guy's not quite the right one for you. Anyway, so here he is. He does roll fairly well. There we go. There he's rolling. The truck itself has a little bit of a tilt to it, so again you can get that turning look. Gun does plug into the side. You can take that off. No issues with that one. And this does come up and down. TFC's had extra hinges in there to make it a little bit better. And like I said, the TFC one is a better looking Scrapper. Scrapper. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. I really dig him. He works pretty well. Nice look to an updated Constructicon. To transform him, he is by far the most complicated of the set. First thing you want to do is pull this piece off and just set that off to the side. We won't come back to that. That is unfortunate, but I mean, I would say it was unavoidable, but really it was. I don't get that one. You want to just kind of start splitting the legs here. You take this piece here, and this folds up all the way. And then this piece will fold out. And you just want to hinge the leg out. There is some clearance issues going on here, for sure. Come on. There we go. So you fold that out. Do the same thing on this side. Just kind of get everything out of the way, and then you rotate it down. And then what you want to do is you fold this piece here in. There's a little slot tab-ish thing and a slot-ish thing right there. And you tab that in, and it doesn't actually tab in very well. Then what you want to do, and this is cool, I do like this. You take this piece here, and this will fold back. And there is a tab right here that will plug into that hole right there. Tab that. Plugs in. Then you want to take this, and this will slide up. And as this slides up, you can see how the foot is made out of those pieces. So this assembly turns into the foot. And I think that's just awesome. Great engineering. This is where, like when they don't go too overboard, Maketoys and TFC, or Maketoys and Fans Project, does a really good job when they come up with ideas like that. But then they go overboard with other things, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Alright, so then we rotate this around. And then what you want to do is come up here to the arms, and you just kind of unpeg those like so. These will fold down. And then the wheel comes around this side, and then the hand flips out. Then you can rotate the arm around like that. Do the same thing over there. And just unpeg that, rotate it around, flip the wheel around, flip the hand out, and then this whole assembly here will fold up. And it's tight, and there's like little notches right here that go on these little peg things here. And it makes it a little bit like nerve-wracking moving it. Because I'm always afraid that I'm going to strip something off. And then you want to take this piece here. It folds back. So this needs to come up a little bit further. Like so. There we go. This will go back. There we go. Then you can take this assembly here. This will fold down. Head will fold up. And that will fold up like so. All right. Then you can take this assembly here in the back. This piston will fold up. And this serves no purpose aside from combine mode. Again, that's kind of unfortunate, but you know, that's how they designed it. And you just kind of collapse that in. TFC had a pretty decent sized backpack too, but it actually locked in a lot better than this one. And there you go. There is Scrapper. And you can give him his gun, like so, and then this, there really isn't a place to put it anywhere, so it just kind of sits off to the side. And yeah, let's get some size comparisons going. Here he is next to the Seeker. Again, this doesn't work too well because he is bigger than the Seeker, but it's okay. Here he is with Springer. This does work really well. I really like this scale. Prowl. And Brainstorm. And yeah, like I said, he's the most complicated of the ones by far, just because of all the extra little twists and turns you have to do with him. But like I said, he's complicated, but in a way that's fun. He's at that envelope for this size figure, in my opinion, of if it's any more difficult, then it's no longer fun. If it's easier than this, you know, that's okay. If it's a lot easier than that, then it's not satisfying because it's too easy. But at his size, at the complexity, I think he's perfect. He's fun to transform. He's complicated, so it gives you a little bit of a challenge, but he's not frustrating. And that's what's really great about this guy, is that he's not frustrating. And yeah, I know he doesn't quite look like Scavenger because of where this is and how this ends up folding into the back, and with the backpack. But at the same time, it still hits all the cues of Scavenger to the point where, or Scrapper. To the point where I'm actually really satisfied with him. It's a great update to the character, whereas the TFC is almost G1 accurate. This is a really great update to the figure, to the look of the character. And I love this. I absolutely love this guy. I think he looks incredible. I love the head sculpt, even though you can't see it very well. Let me try and zoom it in here. It's so hard because it's so dark. Yeah, that's not coming out very well in the camera. But anyway, it's great because it's got the black head with the red eyes in there, and it's got this gunmetal gray mouth plate, which is exactly what Scrapper should look like. And he does have the shovel going over his shoulders like he did in G1. It's not in the right angle and all that, but it still looks really great. I really, really like this figure. I think he's by far the best one out of the set. Even though he's not the most G1 accurate out of the set, he's by far, I think, the best one. This right here is just awesome to mess with. So that being said, he gets a 10 out of 10. Despite the fact that he's complicated, despite the fact that this piece just kind of sits off to the side, and that he's not that accurate. I love this figure. You know, I wish they would sell him by himself because I would love to buy another one. I don't want to. I probably will eventually buy another giant, maybe the yellow version as opposed to green version, so I at least have two different versions of the same character. But he's just awesome. I love him. I love him to death. So anyway, get this piece out of the way, and then we'll go back into combined mode. Again, we're basically reverting them back to truck mode. So you want to pull this assembly down here, pull this piston down, rotate the waist around, get that stuff out of the way. Let's do the legs, the arms. You rotate the wheel around, and then you rotate those around. Pull the scoop up, and then this will come up. There's a little tab right there that this little slot right there will plug into, like so. Do the same thing over here. And then this is where things get even more complicated and not as satisfying, but once you get it, it's good. So you want to pull this assembly here out and up, and then get the head to go in, and then this will come up and around like so. Then you take this piston here, and this will fold down, and that way it kind of looks like he's got a piston in his foot. Then you want to, we'll worry about the arms later. Get this assembly up out of the way, pull the feet down like so, flip this out, and then you close this up. And then while you're doing that, you want to get this piece out of the way, and this will fold down and around. And like I said, there's a few clearance issues going on here, but it's not that bad in comparison to some other Maketoys figures out there. Pull that out, flip this out, this will come around, rotate this around. Alright, and then there's a little peg right there that'll plug into this little hole right there. So you plug that in, this will come around, all that will just line up. You take these pieces here out, this will come down, and then you want to pull the pieces out of the way. And then they just kind of slot in right there. Once everything's lined up appropriately, you know, you just want to keep giving it a little squeeze, and it'll all lock into place really well. Now here comes the stupid part with the arms. Okay, so there's a little groove in this gray plastic here. I'm trying to show it right there, and there's a little tab thing right there. So you want to line those up and get that to tab in. Do the same thing on this side, and just tab that in. Now, this piece will come here and plug in here. And there's two slots right there and two pegs right there. You want to just kind of angle this down until you can get that lined up properly. Maybe, yeah, okay, maybe I was wrong. You don't want to tab those in. So you just kind of rework this angle until you can get it right. It's kind of a bitch to do. Maybe with this. And then we just rotate this. Basically, it's just trial and error until you can get it. There we go. There we go. So once you get that, what this now does is this will, the two posts here will hold this into place, and then the two pegs here will hold these into place. So they hold each other into place. It's really nice. And then, so he still has the ball joint here going on there. And now you have the next foot. So yeah, despite that complication with that, I mean, that's just ear fiddly, but it's not too bad. But aside from that, I still really like this figure. I think he's awesome and solid. So there you go. Next up, we'll put them all together.